Chloe Miller existed in a permanent state of caffeinated panic. As a junior copywriter at Apex Magazine, her life consisted of three things: trying to meet impossible deadlines, trying not to spill her iced oat latte on expensive equipment, and trying not to stare at Elena Vance. Elena Vance, the editor-in-chief. The woman who wore velvet suits like armor and could dismantle a person's ego with a single raised eyebrow. She was terrifying. She was brilliant. She was absolutely, devastatingly hot. Chloe sat at her desk, aggressively typing an email to her best friend Sam, who worked in accounting on the 4th floor. She needed to vent, immediately. "Sam, you don't understand," she typed furiously. She just walked past my desk wearing the emerald green velvet blazer, the one that makes her look like a sexy vampire who owns a Fortune 500 company. She stopped to look at the layout proofs and crossed her arms. Her arms, Sam. The muscle definition in her forearms when she holds a pen should be illegal. She smells like expensive sandalwood and my future wife. If she tells me to rewrite the headline again, I might actually propose on the spot. Send help, or a priest. Chloe hit send with a satisfied flourish. Ranting to Sam was the only thing keeping her sane. She took a sip of her latte, feeling the sweet rush of caffeine and relief. But then, a notification popped up on her screen. "Your message has been sent to all staff." Chloe frowned. That was weird. Why would it say all staff? Her stomach dropped. She opened her sent folder, and the world stopped. She hadn't started a new email to Sam. She had hit reply to the last email she was reading. The company-wide update about the editorial calendar, which meant she hadn't just sent that message to Sam. She had sent it to everyone. The janitorial staff, the interns, the entire NYC office, and Elena Vance. No. Chloe scrambled for her mouse, her breath coming in short, panicked gasps. Recall message. Where was the recall button? Her hands were shaking so badly she knocked over her stapler. She found the button and clicked it frantically. Recall failed. Message already read by 47 recipients. Chloe stared at the screen. She had just told the entire company that their editor-in-chief looked like a sexy vampire and smelled like her future wife. She considered her options. Option A was to fake a heart attack. Option B was to set the building on fire, which seemed too drastic even for her. Option C was to crawl under her desk and live there until she died of starvation. She chose option C. Chloe slid out of her chair and curled into a ball under her desk, pulling her oversized hoodie over her knees. This was it. This was how it ended. She would be fired, obviously. But worse, she would have to look Elena in the eye before security escorted her out. Then her computer started pinging. Ping, 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 ping. Notifications were exploding on her screen. Emails from Sam in accounting screaming her name in all caps. Emails from Mark in design asking if she was serious about the vampire thing. Even a joke email from Sarah in HR asking to see her immediately. Chloe groaned, burying her face in her knees. Then, a new notification sound cut through the noise. A distinct, sharp ping that Chloe had customized specifically for high-priority emails. It was from Elena Vance. Chloe stopped breathing. She slowly, painfully crawled out from under her desk and looked at the screen through her fingers. Elena hadn't fired her. She hadn't called HR. She had replied to the thread. To everyone. Chloe read the message, her heart pounding in her throat. "Chloe," Elena wrote, "while I appreciate the creative description, please note that vampires typically avoid sunlight, whereas I have a lunch meeting at 1 p.m. Also, it's sandalwood and bergamot. Please proofread your thirst tweets next time." Chloe stared. She made a joke. Elena Vance, the ice queen of Apex Magazine, had replied to the entire company with a joke. A ripple of laughter started at the far end of the open plan office. Then it spread. Mark from design was cackling at his desk. The interns were whispering and pointing. Chloe slid back under her desk. This was worse than being fired. This was being roasted by the hottest woman alive in front of 200 people. "Chloe, get up!" Sam hissed, appearing at her cubicle wall a moment later. "You're trending on Slack." "I live here now," Chloe mumbled from the floor. "Tell my mother I love her." Sam grabbed her arm and hauled her up. "It's fine. She made a joke." "Elena Vance never makes jokes. She likes you." "She is mocking me, Sam." She corrected my scent analysis in front of the entire company. Yeah, but she didn't deny the sexy vampire part. Chloe blinked. She didn't, did she? Exactly. Now fix your hair, you look like a terrified raccoon. You have the editorial meeting in 10 minutes. Oh, God. The meeting. I have to see her. You can do this. Just own it. Be the sexy vampire enthusiast. I hate you, Chloe whispered. The conference room was buzzing. Usually, the weekly editorial meeting was a somber affair where everyone tried to avoid eye contact with Elena. Today, the energy was chaotic. When Chloe walked in, the room went silent. Then, Mark started a slow clap. Stop it! Chloe hissed, sliding into the chair furthest from the head of the table. The door opened. Elena Vance walked in. She was indeed wearing the emerald green velvet blazer, and she did indeed look devastating. She walked to the head of the table, placed her notebook down, and looked around the room over her reading glasses. Her eyes landed on Chloe. Chloe stopped breathing. Good morning, everyone, Elena said, her voice smooth and calm. Let's get started. We have a lot to cover. And Chloe? Chloe squeaked. Yes? Elena didn't smile, but the corner of her mouth twitched. If you're going to propose, please wait until after we've finalized the fall issue. I don't like distractions. The room erupted in laughter. Chloe felt her face turn the color of a tomato. Noted, Chloe managed to choke out. Elena sat down. Right. Page layouts. Mark. Go. The meeting proceeded, but the dynamic had shifted. Elena was looser. She was still sharp, still critical, but there was a glint in her eye. Every time she critiqued a layout, she would glance at Chloe. At one point, Chloe suggested a headline change. I think Winter Essentials is too boring, Chloe said, trying to be professional. Maybe cold weather, hot style? Elena considered it. A bit cliché. But I suppose you're the expert on heat, Chloe, given your recent email. More laughter. Chloe put her head on the table. Okay, I walked into that one. You sprinted into it, Elena corrected dryly. But keep the headline. It works. After the meeting, Chloe tried to escape quickly, but Elena called her name. Chloe. A word. The room cleared out instantly. Everyone wanted to gossip, but no one wanted to be in the splash zone. Chloe stood by the door, clutching her notebook like a shield. Am I fired? Elena stood up and walked over. She was tall, much taller than Chloe realized. Or maybe Chloe was just shrinking from embarrassment. Do you want to be fired? Elena asked. No. I really like this job. And I'm really sorry about the email. It was meant for Sam. I was venting. I didn't mean to objectify you or make you uncomfortable. Uncomfortable? Elena leaned against the table, crossing her arms. Those sculpted arms. Chloe forced her eyes to stay on Elena's face. Most employees complain about my management style or my deadlines, Elena said. You're the first one to complain about being overwhelmed by my forearm definition. It's refreshing. I wasn't complaining. I was admiring. Respectfully. You said you wanted a priest. To absolve me of my sins. Because looking at you feels sinful. Chloe slapped a hand over her mouth. Oh my God. I did it again. I have no filter. My brain is soup. Please stop looking at me like that. Like what? Elena took a step closer. Like you're a cat and I'm a very stupid mouse. Elena laughed. A real, actual laugh. It was husky and terrifyingly attractive. You are a very entertaining mouse, Chloe. Go back to work and try not to hit reply all again, unless it's another compliment. I have an ego to maintain. Chloe fled the room. By Wednesday, the email was legendary. Someone had printed it out and taped it to the communal fridge in the break room. Underneath, people had started adding sticky notes with their own observations about Elena. One note said simply, "She does wear a lot of velvet." Another confirmed the sandalwood smell. A third just said, "Team Chloe." Chloe stood in front of the fridge, horrified. "This is harassment," she told Sam. "I am harassing myself." "It's morale," Sam argued, stealing a yogurt. "Look, everyone is happier." The fear of Elena Vance has been replaced by the collective joy of watching you panic. You're a hero. I'm a meme, Sam. I'm the reply all girl. Just then, Elena walked into the break room. The chatter stopped instantly. Elena walked to the fridge. She looked at the printed email. She looked at the sticky notes. She took a pen from her pocket. She wrote on a sticky note and stuck it to the fridge. Then she grabbed a sparkling water and walked out without saying a word. Chloe and Sam rushed to the fridge. Elena's note read, "Get back to work." And Chloe is right about the blazer. It's vintage Gucci. Sam gasped, "She's flirting with you. She is scolding us." She specified the designer, "Chloe, she wants you to know she has taste. That is 100% flirting. I think you're delusional. I think you have a date by Friday." Thursday brought the office party. It was someone's birthday. Or maybe a milestone celebration, Chloe wasn't sure. There was cake and cheap wine in the conference room at 4 p.m. Chloe stood in the corner, nursing a plastic cup of Chardonnay. She was wearing her best oversized sweater, trying to blend into the wall. Elena was in the center of the room, holding court. She was wearing a black silk shirt today, top 2 buttons undone. Chloe tried very hard not to look at her collarbones. She failed. "Like what you see?" Chloe jumped. Elena was standing right next to her. She moved silently, like a vampire. "You have to stop sneaking up on me," Chloe said, clutching her chest. "And miss the look of terror on your face?" "Never." Elena took a sip of her wine. "You're hiding. I'm observing. From a safe distance." "Safe from what?" "From you. And your general aura?" "My aura?" Elena raised an eyebrow. "Is that what we're calling it now?" Chloe sighed. "Look, are we going to do this forever? You making fun of me because I accidentally confessed my undying lust to the entire tri-state area?" "Undying lust?" Elena smirked. "Strong words, Miller. You know what I mean. It's embarrassing. I feel like the court jester." Elena's expression softened slightly. She turned to face Chloe fully, blocking out the rest of the room. "I'm not making fun of you, Chloe." "Well, I am, but only because you make it so easy, and because..." "Because what?" "Because I was flattered," Elena admitted quietly. Chloe blinked. "You? The Elena Vance? Flattered by a junior copywriter drooling over her blazer?" "It's lonely at the top, Chloe. People are scared of me. They think I'm cold. They think I don't notice things." "I notice things," Chloe said softly. "I know you do. You notice the sandalwood, and the muscle definition, and the vintage Gucci." Elena took a step closer. The air between them crackled. "You have a good eye, Chloe. For detail. It makes you a good writer. And an interesting person to have around." Chloe's heart was doing gymnastics. Are you saying you like me?" "I'm saying that if you're going to write detailed descriptions of me, you should probably do more research." "Research?" Elena swirled her wine. "Close-up observation. Field study. Perhaps over dinner." Chloe choked on her spit. "Are you asking me out? I'm offering a research opportunity." "Elena Vance, are you asking me on a date?" Elena rolled her eyes, but she was smiling. "Yes, Chloe. I am asking you on a date. Since you've already proposed marriage via email, I figured dinner was the least I could do." Chloe grinned. "I accept. But I'm paying. You're a junior copywriter. I'm the editor-in-chief. I'm paying." "I'm paying," Chloe insisted, "to prove I'm not just a thirst-tweeting disaster, that I can be a sophisticated adult woman." Elena laughed. "Okay. You pay. But if you spill wine on yourself, I'm taking over. Deal." "Wait," Chloe said, sudden panic returning. "Does the whole office have to know?" Elena looked around the room. Mark was watching them. Sam was giving Chloe a double thumbs up. The interns were pretending not to listen. "Chloe, you sent an email to everyone. I think the time for subtlety has passed." "True." Elena leaned in, close enough that Chloe could smell the sandalwood and bergamot. "Friday. 8 p.m. That Italian place on 4th. Don't be late." "I'm never late." "You're late every morning, Chloe." "I'll be early," Chloe corrected. "Good." Elena walked away, leaving Chloe standing there with her cheap wine and a grin that threatened to split her face. Sam rushed over. "Tell me everything. She asked me out." I knew it. She said it was for research. Oh, she is down bad. You're going to marry her. I already proposed, remember? It's in the email. Friday night. Chloe arrived at the restaurant 20 minutes early. She had changed her outfit 6 times. She settled on a black dress that wasn't oversized for once. She had actually brushed her hair. Elena arrived at 8 p.m. on the dot. She was wearing a dark blue suit this time. Velvet again. She saw Chloe and stopped. Her eyes raked over Chloe's dress. Well, Elena said, sitting down. You clean up nice, Miller. You look okay, too, Chloe said breathlessly. For a vampire? Elena laughed. You're never going to let that go, are you? Never. It's my brand now. They ordered wine. They talked. Not about work, about books, about movies, about why Chloe was obsessed with iced coffee even in winter, about why Elena wore velvet armor. It's a defense mechanism, Elena admitted halfway through the second bottle of wine. If I look untouchable, people won't try to touch. I want to touch, Chloe blurted out. Then froze. I mean, metaphorically, emotionally. Elena smiled. Her guard was down. Her eyes were warm. You can touch, Elena whispered. Literally. Chloe reached across the table. She took Elena's hand. Elena's fingers interlaced with hers. Her skin was soft. Her grip was firm. Is this research? Chloe asked. Data collection, Elena murmured. The check came. Chloe grabbed it before Elena could. I said I was paying. Elena watched her. You're stubborn. I'm persistent. They walked out into the cool night air. So, Chloe said, rocking on her heels, that was not a disaster. It was delightful, Elena corrected. What happens on Monday? Chloe asked. At the office? I suppose I'll have to send another company-wide email, Elena mused. Please don't. Why not? Subject line, update on Chloe's research. Conclusion, she is an excellent kisser. Chloe's eyes widened. Are you going to kiss me? Elena stepped closer. She placed a hand on Chloe's waist. She looked down at her with that intense, focused gaze that usually preceded a layout critique. I'm thinking about it, but I'm worried about the HR implications. Screw HR, Chloe whispered. Elena laughed softly. That's the spirit. She kissed her. It wasn't tentative. It was confident, experienced, devastating. Chloe felt her knees go weak. She wrapped her arms around Elena's neck, pulling her closer. The velvet of Elena's suit was soft under her fingers. The sandalwood scent was intoxicating. When they pulled apart, Chloe was dizzy. Wow, Chloe breathed. Elena smirked. Better than a vampire. Much better. They stood there on the sidewalk holding hands. You know, Chloe said, if I hadn't hit reply all, we wouldn't be here. True, Elena agreed. You'd still be staring at my arms from across the room and I'd still be pretending not to notice. So really, I'm a genius. A chaotic, accidental genius. Let's go with lucky disaster, Elena suggested. I'll take it. Can I walk you home? Elena asked. Only if you promise not to turn into a bat and fly away. I make no promises. They walked down the street, shoulders brushing. Monday morning. Chloe walked into the office. She was holding 2 iced coffees. She walked straight to Elena's office. The glass walls meant everyone could see. She knocked and walked in. Elena looked up from her computer. She smiled. A real smile. Morning, Chloe said, placing 1 coffee on the desk. Oat latte. Extra shot. Bribery? Elena asked. Sustenance. For the research. Elena took a sip. Perfect. Chloe turned to leave. Chloe? Yes? Elena stood up. She walked around the desk, in front of the glass wall, in front of the entire office. She leaned down and kissed Chloe on the cheek. Proofread your emails today, Miller. Chloe beamed. Yes, boss. She walked out of the office. Sam was standing on her desk, silently screaming. Mark was applauding. Chloe sat at her desk. She opened her email. She typed a new message to Sam. I am going to marry her. And this time, I didn't hit reply all. She hit send. Then, a ping. From Elena Vance. Chloe froze. She opened it. Subject: Re. Update: I have access to the server logs, Chloe. I can read all emails. And yes, you probably are. Chloe looked up. Elena was watching her from her office, sipping her coffee. She winked. Chloe Miller, junior copywriter, chaotic disaster, and future wife of the editor-in-chief, took a sip of her latte. Life was good.